All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we have Reym bringing the Norskins versus Sir Astolfo and the Empire. So, round one here. Let's see who comes out on top, and the map will be Wyvern Lake. It's a nice, peaceful forest. Nothing bad could possibly happen here, right? Okay, so starting with the Norskins here, being led by Reym, we're going to have 3 Marauders, 3 Marauder Berserkers who just moved. Yeah, there they go. One of the Marauder Berserkers will be the Regiment of Renown, Brutes of the Hound. Keep in mind, these guys are unbreakable, so they'll fight to the bitter end. Now, other than this, we are going to have a skirmish contingent. Spine Farm, thank you for the follow. We're going to have 3 Marauder Horsemen. We're going to have 2 Norscan Warhounds. One of them will be the Beast of Tashnar with that bonus versus large. And then for the big heavy hitters and the leadership, we're going to have a backline of Skin Wolves. Looks like 2 regular and 1 going to be armored, and the ROR Maws of Savagery. They also have armor piercing, which makes them much more vicious in fights. Aside from that, we're going to see a Shaman Sorcerer of Fire. Going to be bringing Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, Fireball, and Kindle Flame. And then we're also going to be seeing Wolfric the Wanderer on top of his chariot here. He's going to be bringing Sea Fang and the Hunter of Champions with Foe Seeker. So, let's go check out what the forces of men have brought to deal with these Norscan raiders. And it looks like for the skirmishing force up front, we're going to have 3 Pistoliers. Going to have Spearmen. Looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Going to have the Sigmar Sons, ROR Unbreakable Empire Swordsmen. Flagellants, these unbreakable religious zealots that just really love to hurt themselves. We're going to have Sterling's Revenge, the ROR Free Company Militia. We have a Bright Wizard on foot with Burning Head and Kindle Flame. We have a Jade Wizard on foot with Earthblood and nothing else. Up in the air, guess who the leader is? It's Karl Franz, the one, the only. Galmaraz, the Reichland Runefang, Stand Your Ground, Foe Seeker, Hold the Line, and Blood Roar. And then on the right flank, we're going to have that cavalry that we were talking about earlier. And look at this. It will indeed be 3 units of Knights of the Blazing Sun charging into battle gloriously, looking like the badasses they are. And we'll see how they do. 3 Skin Wolves versus 3 Knights of the Blazing Sun. Pistoliers going to go up and start skirmishing against the Marauder Horsemen. A skirmishing fight that I would say 9 times out of 10 they will win, simply because they have direct line of fire. Norskins can't dodge their shots. The Pistoliers can dodge the Norscan shots. Exactly. GLB's master. It is. I predicted the Lord picks here. Alright, looks like the Empire might be, like, both factions are pushing hard on their left flanks. Knights of the Blazing Sun, Karl Franz, have taken advantage of what I think is a wonderful opportunity to eliminate a very powerful, very dangerous unit very quickly. Skinwolves are coming in to try to help. Free Company Militia, or sorry, the Sterling's Revenge are going to get a Burning Head on top of them. But oh no! That slight random variation of the Burning Head meant it didn't go down the line exactly, and it's not going to do that much damage, unfortunately. Brutes of the Hound still taking a ton of damage. They're going down below half health quite quickly here. And here comes the Empire's Burning Head in return. And it looks like it, too, is going to have an unfortunate variance that's going to cause it not to do the most damage against its intended targets. Over here, Empire is just doing their best to try to finish off the Brutes of the Hound and some of these other forces. Pistoliers pulling back. Knights of the Blazing Sun still doing very well. And it's this battle has really just shifted in a clockwise formation. The Empire pushing hard on their left flank, the Norskins pushing hard on their left flank, and now what we have is both players kind of forming a semblance of a battle line right here, and looks like both players are going to continue trying to wrap around that clock. Pistoliers coming over here. Not even sure if they're on fire at will or not, because it looks like they aren't firing away right now, but there they go, opening fire now. And Karl Franz is diving into the Marauder Horsemen, which means they should tear her out very quickly. Here comes the Sea Fang. going right through the Free Company militia. The Sterling's Revenge is basically been deleted from the battle. You can see the remnants of their bodies there, and yeah, their blood shall wet the earth. Jade Wizard and Bright Wizard really getting into weird positions here. They need to get out of here. Also, that Burning Head doing some good damage to the Marauder Berserkers. Maybe would have liked to have seen it over here instead, kind of like going through the bulk of these units, but hey, hindsight's 20/20. And in comes the Burning Head, now going through the back. Looks like it's not really going to connect with anything there, though. Over here, Terror Rout's kicking in on top of the Skin Wolves, and now an actual rout as Karl Franz is diving into combat. The Brutes of the Hound are down to one single model. Karl Franz is still full health, but we do have Wolfric the Wanderer nearby and some Skin Wolves, but now the Knights of the Blazing Sun cycling in and out. All of them are about half health or just over, and the Maws of Savagery taking some nasty damage, and now Karl Franz has gone in there and is hitting the Shaman Sorcerer. Yep, Shaman Sorcerer going down. He is gone, down for the count. Maws of Savagery look like they may be going down now too. And the Empire looks like they're starting to take this away. However, I do want to point out some of the progress the Norskins have made in the backline. You can see here that the Jade Wizard is routing, the Bright Wizard is in combat and wavering. And, you know, I think that might just be a result of, I don't want to say careless, but just an oversight on the Empire side there, not realizing that both of their casters are getting compromised. And if that Jade Wizard doesn't come back and Karl Franz start taking some damage, he's going to be kicking himself in the late game at losing the opportunity to heal up Karl Franz. Over here, Maws of Savagery getting chased by these Pistoliers, but the Pistoliers are now getting chased by Skin Wolves, and the Pistoliers are going to get murdered by said Skin Wolves. Beast of Tashnar chasing these Pistoliers. Will they be able to catch them before they get routed, though? Remains to be seen. Maws of Savagery continuing to get chased, and looks like the Norscan Warhounds here, the Brutes of the Hound, going to start running away from the Pistolier fire. Over here, Skin Wolves in combat with Knights of the Blazing Sun. Knights of the Blazing Sun seem to be doing okay there with their superior armor. Wolfric trying to run. Karl Franz is now coming over here to get into this combat, maybe save the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Another unit of Knights of the Blazing Sun coming in for a vicious rear charge, and suddenly these Skin Wolves are going to find themselves surrounded and smashed by Karl Franz and the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Cheese, thank you for the follow. Taking a higher level view of the battle, though. Don't you know it? Berserkers over here have been unchallenged, but oh no, they're abandoning the chase, and now the Bright Wizard's coming back, and the Jade Wizard is in a regroup too. And that's a pain. You know, the Norskins have an opportunity here to eliminate both of the Empire's casters, and they're not taking advantage of it. But I mean, honestly, easier said than done, considering how much the Empire has just been able to take care of the mobility from the Norskins. Really, the only thing the Norskins have an advantage in right now is going to be the infantry power. But infantry power against cycle charging knights and a terror-causing griffin usually doesn't work out for the infantry. Nice Sea Fang going right through the Knights of the Blazing Sun, slowing them down, causing some good damage, but Karl Franz is really dishing out some nasty hits on top of Wolfric the Wanderer. But now he's starting to take some damage of his own, and it looks like he's going to start trying to pull out as his Knights of the Blazing Sun are routing. Pistoliers coming in here to help out in the fight. They're going to start opening fire on these unarmored infantry units that the Norskins have. Sigmar's Son's diving in to try to buy some time for Karl Franz, and it looks like it may work. Will he get up in the air? Oh my goodness, I don't know. Is he going to get in the air? Oh yeah, they're terror routing, so he's safe and sound. He's going back up in the air, but the balance of power is dead even. And look at this. The Jade Wizard is shattered, and the Bright Wizard is dead. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. Farl Cans is going to do it. That's right, Farl Cans. I know I said it backwards, but no. Karl Franz is all by his lonesome at this point. Cadru, thank you for the follow. And the Norskins, look at them. Can they do this? Their infantry superiority is uncontested now. The Empire has lost pretty much all of its cavalry. It has one tattered unit of Knights of the Blazing Sun here with 9 models. And Karl Franz suddenly has no way to heal. If he had the Jade Wizard, this would be game over, no doubt in my mind. But now that Karl Franz is really, you know, the one standing by himself in this combat, it could go to the Norskins. I wouldn't be surprised. This is not outside the realm of possibility. Karl Franz is about to get charged by Wulfric, and it looks like he's pulling up as the rest of his forces are charging in to fight over on this side. Spearmen, pretty much as soon as they touch those berserkers, are going to start routing. And pretty soon Karl Franz is going to be forced to land. And the Norskins... oh my god. I think the Norskins are going to be able to pull this out. This is absolutely a 180 from where it was a moment ago when the Empire was able to successfully rout out all those skin wolves.
Run!
Yeah, the Norscan infantry, and the thing to keep in mind here too is the Norscan infantry has that rage mechanic. Doesn't look like any of them have really even popped at the first level for the most part, though. If Karl Franz can kill Wulfric the Wanderer on a good charge, you got to keep in mind he has Gal Maraz, the Reichling Runefang, Foe Seeker, and if he gets a good charge here, that was a good charge. And will he follow it up with another good charge? Yes, he will. And now Karl Franz has murdered Wulfric the Wanderer, and that is probably going to give the Empire the victory in a very close match. What a good last play. Empire able to eliminate Wulfric, chasing him off with Pistoliers, and that's, guys, why even when the balance of power is against you, mobility tends to beat numbers if the numbers cannot catch them, you know? Picking your engagements is a luxury, and it allows you to win the game as long as you do it right. So, well played. Army losses kicking in, and Karl Franz going to finally take the victory in a very close match against the Norskins. How stars burn. At first I read that as star burns, like community, but yeah, that one charge. But he had Gal Maraz popped, and probably the Reichland Runefang too, and those two things make Karl Franz's stats just go through the roof. And yeah, that's why he's so dangerous. You also have to remember he's a duelist, so like all of his damage doesn't really go into splash, it just applies to the target he's hitting. And Wulfric on a chariot has a big hitbox. And yeah, I mean, that was a very close game, but Karl Franz making the right play there, just recognizing that as long as he pops his abilities and charges in, there's a chance he can just eliminate him on those charges. And it happened. The RNG was in his favor. So it worked out, but man, that was a close one. That was a beautiful game to both players, Reym and Sir Astolfo. Not disappointing in round one of this best of three. The map will be Plain of Spiders, and it's going to be round two with Reym bringing the Vampire Counts against Sir Astolfo and his Bretonnians. Let's go ahead and start with the Bretonnians, the peasants serving the lady. We're going to have 5 peasant mob. Oh, just kidding. There they go. So 5 peasant mob. We're going to have 3 peasant bowmen, all of them with pox arrows. We're going to have questing knights, the companion of Quenelle ROR questing knights, and then his generic unit of questing knights. So a total of 3. It also looks like we're going to have, oh my goodness, 2 Grail Guardians. These guys are crazy good. 120 armor, great physical resistance, magical damage, of 56 melee defense. So very good melee cavalry. Other than that, looks like we're just going to have the heroes. This is a very expensive cavalry force, 3 questing knights and 2 Grail Guardians. We're going to have the Fey Enchantress down here on Silveron, her unicorn. We're going to have Earthblood, and of course she's just going to disappear on me like that because she's a flake. There you go, Faye. She's going to have Mist of the Lady as well, which is going to do that damage over time in an AoE, kind of like a Mortis effect. Got 2 Paladins in the air, both of them on top of Paladins, or on top of Pegasus. We're going to have the Charm Shield and Foe Seeker and Guardian on each of them. So that's an expensive Paladin team, but they're going to give each other that physical resistance, and they're also going to have the Charm Shield to get that ward save and missile block chance. Now, let's see what the undead forces have brought. We're going to have zombies to go up against the peasant mob. We're going to have skeleton spearmen, looks like 2 of them. We're going to have skeleton warriors, 1 in the center there. We're going to have 3 grave guard, looks like, holding up the back line so they could win the infantry fight no problem. Then we're going to have Varric's Black Reavers. These guys have lances and barding, so they are great on the charge, but they also have a passive regeneration, which is quite nice. I do like Varric's Black Reavers for that reason. Other than that, I'm looking around, I don't see anything else besides the flying squad here. And Frost 12, thank you for the follow. Got 2 Fellbats, and then we're going to be looking here at a Terrorgeist, along with a Vampire of Death. Vampire of Death is going to have Spirit Leech, Life Leeching. It's also going to have the Scroll of Leeching, and Immortal Will to give the regeneration, you know, so 624 hit points to be precise. We're also going to have the Von Karstein Vampire Lord. We're going to have Storm of Night, so basically a vortex spell that pins, that slows down flying units by 72%, so these paladins will have to watch out. Undeath Resurgent, Raise Dead, Invocation of Nahek, and, you know, you got that lovely Pestilential Breath on top of the Zombie Dragon. Yeah, I think the main benefit for the Paladins is the fact that they do have really good speed, so as long as they keep their distance, they shouldn't be able to get caught. But if they get into aerial combat and then that vortex goes down on them, then they may die in a rather expeditious manner to the Terrorgeist, Blood Dragon, and Vampire Lord. Not to mention all these Fellbats that can just fly in there and be quite a nuisance. Dragon Lord getting targeted by the Peasant Bowman. He's going to turn around, not take too much damage there, just kind of the initial skirmishing stage of the fight. And now it looks like we're going to see Grail Knights coming out to play. Actually just kind of going out into the no man's land here in the center. Going to stay there for a second, and now they're going to turn back. Paladins going after the Von Karstein Vampire Lord. Both of them have popped that Charm Shield for the 22% damage resistance, so an entire ward save on top of the physical resistance they get from the Guardian trait. And they're continuing to go after the Von Karstein Vampire Lord. Oh, there it goes! The storm has struck. Varric Reaver's doing some good job to damage against the Grail Guardians on the charge. Now the Paladins are stuck up in the air. Will they be able to get out of this, or do you have the Fellbats pin them in place? Over here, Vampire Lord on his dragon is in combat. Paladins are diving onto the ground, so there's not a lot of friendly units nearby to support them. Looks like the Vampire Counts have done a good job of getting some infantry between these two Paladins who are trying to dive into the ground and the questing Knights who are close enough to help support them. Alright, Paladins still trying to run. It looks like they're actually going to be able to escape behind this Peasant mob. So we'll see what happens. And now the Dragon Lord, look at him getting pin-cushioned by all the Peasant Bowmen. Over here, we're going to see a big old Earthblood upgraded going down, and a breath coming from the Dragon Lord, perhaps. This is the opportunity for it. Oh, yeah, I know. He's getting chased off by the Paladins now and the Bowmen, so Dragon Lord not enjoying life as much as he could be right now, and the Paladins are going to keep up that pressure and just keep chasing him. Meanwhile, in the frontline engagements, you know, we're going to be seeing that the Bretonnian line is holding firm for now, but it's only a matter of time, I think, before the undead forces break through, considering they have those Graveguard with great weapons, the 3 of them in the back line. And now look at this. He's critical binding. He's crumbling. The Paladins are on top of him. And would you look at this, guys? The Paladins have their Charm Shields popped again for that 22% ward save on top of their physical resistance. And it looks like the Vampire Lord may go down. He's running from the Paladins back into range of the missile fire. And, yeah, that's probably going to be it for him. There he goes! He's down. Invocation of the Heck was about to pop. But now the Vampire Lord is gone. The Von Karstein Vampire Lord is donezo. And we're going to see a concession of defeat there by Reym as Sir Astolfo of Bretonnia takes this victory in a 2-0 fashion with a very nicely played Bretonnian game against the Vampire Counts. Vampire Dragon Lord is quite good, but yeah, he needed to be used much better. His breath is vicious. He, you know, potentially could have killed a ton of cavalry blobs with those dragon breaths. Could kill archers with the dragon breaths. So I don't think the Vampire Lord is a bad idea. Von Karstein Vampire Lord I don't see too often. You know, he has that vortex, which I imagine is why I brought him to try to win the Air Force combat. But at the end of the day, the Paladins were just too slippery, and I think those ward saves are really what saved him, honestly. Oh, thank God we finished that battle. The first stream crash or game crash of the day. Oh my goodness gracious. Don't worry, folks. We'll have it right back up. The last Strom 4, and thank you for the follow.